Good day, grade 7 student. Welcome to your Math 7 Quarter 2 review. So I'm teacher Marjorie D. Pimentel, and this video will go through all the important lessons that you need to remember for your upcoming exam. Please take notes as we go along, and let's start with the physical education and health. So our first topic is growth and development. Puberty is the stage when a child body begins to change into an adult body. Again, puberty is the stage when a child's body begins to change into an adult body. So this is when your body starts to mature. So you grow taller, your voice changes, and you start developing the secondary sex characteristics. And the next one is the adolescence. Adolescence, which means the transition from childhood to adulthood. So this usually happen when the age 12 to 18 and you start exploring your identity and your emotion. Again, adolescence is the transition from childhood to adulthood. And last one, or finally, the adulthood. So adulthood is when a person is fully matured, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Again, adulthood is the stage when a person is fully mature. Now let's proceed in changes during the adolescence. So during adolescence, you experience the four types of changes. Number one is the physical change or physical changes. Physical changes is all about your height increases, no? Tumatangkad kayo. Your voice deepen, nagbabago ang boses ninyo, especially boys. Pimples appears, okay? And of course, body odors develop. That's why in the adolescence period, you really need to take care of yourself. And number two is the emotional changes. Emotional changes is when you may experience mood swings. Okay, sometimes you are happy, but and then bigla kang malulungkot. So ang tawag natin dyan ay mood swings. Sensitivity and attractions to others. Dito na yung time na nagkakaroon na tayo ng mga crushes. Okay? Nagkakaroon na tayo ng mga idols. And also, social changes is the number three. Social changes is you want more independence. No, ayaw mo na yung pinakekealaman ka. You wanted to decide for yourself. And of course, in the adolescence period, it is also the time where you build friendship. And like joining to peer groups, mas gusto mong sumasama sa iyong mga kaibigan or sa mga iba't ibang grupo na nag-a-accept sa'yo to be their friends. And another one is the psychological changes. Okay, in this time, in the adolescence period, psychological changes happen. So you begin to discover who you are and sometimes feeling confused and anxious. Sometimes we question ourselves, these things is for me or gusto ko ba talaga yung bagay na ito? And in adolescence period also, napapatanong yung ang mga kabataan kung sino ba talaga sila or ano ba talaga sila. Okay, so this happened during the adolescence. Again, we have four of changes that we face in adolescence. Number one, we have the physical changes. Number two, we have the emotional changes. Number three, we have the social changes. And number four, we have the psychological changes. When we say physical changes, it's talk about your appearance, your height, your face, your voice, okay? Something that happened in your physical appearance. And number two, the emotional changes. When we say emotional changes, it talks about your mood. Okay? And for social changes, it is how you treat others, making friends, and deciding for yourself. And for the psychological changes, and this one, you discover your identity. And what are the things that you wanted? Okay? So let's proceed on the next one. The common teens issues. So as we face adolescence, teens faces different kinds of issues. Ano ba yung mga issues na ito? Okay? As we go through these changes, it's normal to face some challenges. So number one is the psychological problems. Okay? This is where the time that the students or at your age, you feel depression, anxiety, and mood disorders. So, dito nyo na nararamdaman yung parang ang bigat ng problema. Okay? That is psychological problem. Which is, pag hindi siya talaga naagapan, no, uuwi siya sa depression. And number two, we have the techno-stress. Okay? Kapag sinabi natin techno-stress, it is where you used the gadgets too much. Okay? Less physical activity or more on gadgets. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi na kayo nakakapaglaro sa labas, hindi kayo nagkakaroon ng social life, but ang ginagawa nyo is nagsi-cellphone ng nagsi-cellphone. So, that is techno-stressed. And the other one is social problems. So what is social problems? Social problems is where it includes the dating, okay, nakikipag-date na, kaya siya tinawag na social problems kasi kapag na-broken-hearted ka, of course, no, yun ay problema na ng mga kabataan ngayon. Okay? Peer pressure, you think that yung ginagawa niya ay uso, gusto mo na ding subukan, pero hindi pala tama. And of course, maintaining a relationship. Sometimes, in adolescence period, yung mga kaibigan natin noon ay hindi na natin sila kaibigan ngayon. It is because we are changing. Okay? And dahil nag-change tayo, of course, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga kaibigan na ay hindi natin talaga nakakasundo. So, nangyayari, nagkakaroon ng changes yung ating mga kaibigan o yung sets of friends na meron tayo. So, you need to remember that you need to manage your time well. Okay? Talk to your family, and of course, balance your studies and online habits. Hindi naman pwede na online and online things lang yung gagawin ninyo. So, you need to study also. Okay? Next, we have the family and relationship. So there is saying the family that plays together stays together. So family bonding strengthens unity and of course create happy relationships. So family also have boundaries. Okay? So these are rules that promote the respect, safety, and privacy. So what are these boundary or family boundaries? So we have 4, okay? 4 family boundaries. Let's have the number 1. Number 1 is physical boundary. Knocking before entering rooms. Okay? Talks about the physical boundary. These are the things that you are doing na minsan nakala natin okay lang. Okay? But it is one of the family boundaries. Kapag papasok ka sa room ng parents mo, kailangan magnanak muna sila magnanak ka muna sa door, okay? And of course, ganun din sila sa'yo. Okay? It is a way of physical boundary. And next one, emotional boundary. Emotional boundary is where you respect others' feeling. Okay? Hindi lang yung feelings mo yung iniintindi mo, but iniintindi mo din yung feelings ng iyong mga kasama sa bahay. Ano kaya ang mararamdaman ni mama kapag ginawa ko ito? Or ano kaya ang mararamdaman ni papa kapag ginawa ko ito? Okay, so you need to think about the emotions of the other person na kasama mo sa bahay o kabilang sa iyong pamilya. Na number 3 is the material boundary. So you need to ask before borrowing things. Ito ang mas madalas na napag-aawayan no, sa bahay. Yung sinuot ng kapatid, yung kanyang damit na hindi nagpapaalam, or ginamit yung ballpen ng kapatid na hindi nagpapaalam. These are small things, no? But these are still boundary na kailangan binibigyan natin ng panahon at of course, ginagawa natin para maging maayos at maganda ang pakikitungo sa pamilya. And the most important one is the time boundary. So you need to respect each other's schedule. Hindi porket na ang gusto mo ay mamaya na ang gagawin mo, no? Kaya nga, di ba, lagi sinasabi ng mga magulang natin, kapag inuutusan kayo, kailangan gagawin na. Hindi yung mamaya na habit tayo. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating respect each other's schedules, kapag sinabing kakain na, kailangan kumain na sabay-sabay. Why? Kasi hindi mo alam na meron pa palang trabaho si mommy na kailangan gawin, no? Or si father na kailangan gawin. Okay? And another thing, you need to think about the time na ibinibigay nila sa inyo. Kailangan mo yung i-cherish. So, finally, if you practice all this all these four, no, kailangan magkaroon din tayo ng open communication. Okay? We need to practice open communication with the family. So this means that you are sharing your thoughts and listening actively to one another. So hindi pwede na ikikip mo lang yung nararamdaman mo sa sarili mo. You need to share it to your parents so that they know what is happening to you or what is happening about their child. And you know what? When you are um sharing what everything happens to you, even it is at school, kahit sabihin nating crush lang yan, no? Natutuwa ang inyong mga magulang if you have a open communication with them. Because they feel that you feel safe to them and you trust them. So that is one of the best or important things na kailangan ginagawa ng family. Okay, nagkakaroon ng open communication. Siyempre, sa open communication, hindi lang of sharing of thoughts yan. Open communications also talks about kapag ikaw ay nagkakamali. You are willing to be corrected by your parents. Okay, now let's proceed on the invasion games. So what are invasion games? So invasion games, it is already under physical education. Kanina nasa health tayo, ngayon nasa physical education na tayo, no? So invasion games. It is a major topic in physical education, and these are games where teams invade or enter the opponent's area to score points or goals. Okay, again, kapag sinabi natin invasion games, we are talking about the games where there are teams, okay, magkalaban, okay, na nandoon sa isang court, no, para makascore, makagoal, makakuha ng points to win the game. So we have different examples of invasion games. We have the number 1, which is the basketball. We have two teams playing together and nag-uunahan sila to score. Okay? We also have football, handball, floorball, and ultimate frisbee. Again, when we say invasion games, these are games where teams invade or enter the opponent's area to score points or goal. Okay, so these are examples of invasion games. So let's have first the basketball. The main objective of basketball, of course, is to shoot the ball into the ring. Okay? And the key equipment that we have in basketball is ball and ring. So kailangan natin yung mga equipment na yan to play the game basketball. Next, we have the football or soccer. So the main objective of the game football is to kick the ball into the goal. And to play this kind of game, of course, we need to have the equipment, ball, and goal, okay, to score. And next one is handball. So you need to throw the ball into the goal. Again, the handball main objective is throw the ball into the goal. So again, the key equipments that you need in this kind of game is ball and goal. Next is floorball. So floorball, the main objective of this game is to hit a light plastic ball into a goal using a stick. So for this kind of game, you need to have an equipment, which is the stick and a ball, a plastic ball. Okay? Next is the ultimate frisbee. Ultimate frisbee main objective is to pass a flying disc to a teammate in the end zone. And the key equipment that you need in this kind of game is the flying disc. Okay? Let's have now the basic skills in invasion games. So every invasion games requires basic skills such as number 1 is dodging. So dodging is quickly moving away from an opponent. And number 2, receiving or receiving an object. So receiving is catching or crawling a ball safety. Okay? Receiving an object is catching or cradling a ball. And next one is sending an object. Sending an object or sending is you are passing or you are shooting or you are kicking the ball. Okay? And the other skills that you need is speed and agility. Speed and agility is moving fast and changing direction easily. Again, speed and agility is moving fast and changing direction easily. Next one, we must have the spatial awareness. So it is where you know where you are in a play area. Okay? Kailangan alam mo ano yung iyong position. Again, these are the basic skills that you need to know if you are playing a invasion games. Dodging, receiving an object, sending an object, speed and agility, and spatial awareness. Now, let's have the strategies in invasion games. So, we have two main types of strategies. We have the offensive strategies or the OS. Okay? OS is used to attack and score. So, it will, example here is creating a space, maintain position, avoid defenders, and pass accurately. Again, kapag sinabi nating offensive strategies, these are used to attack and to score. Kapag sinabi namang defensive strategies, these are used to stop opponent from scoring. Okay? You need to defend the goal, you need to mark a player, and then you need to predict movements of the other player. Cover space and gain possession. So, kapag sinabing offensive, you need to score. Kapag sinabing defensive, pipigilan mo yung kalaban to score. So, kapag sinabing offensive, you have the ball, okay? Hawak-hawak mo ang bola, pupuntos ka. Kapag sinabing defensive strategies, hindi mo hawak ang bola, ikaw yung magbabantay para hindi makapuntos yung kabilang team. So let's have now the key terms to remember. So you need to remember these different key terms, okay? Let's recall some key terms na kailangan ninyong matandaan for the upcoming exam. What is technostress? Again, kapag sinabi natin technostress, these are stress from too much gadgets used. Okay? Gumagamit tayo ng gadget, overuse siya, hindi tayo nakakapagpahinga. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng technostress. Depression. Kapag sinabing depression, this is sadness or low self-esteem that lasts for weeks. So, ibig sabihin, mababa yung tingin mo sa iyong sarili. Kaya ikaw ay nalulungkot. And for physical activities, kapag sinabi nating physical activities, this promote fitness and of course, family bonding. And last one is emotional boundary. So emotional boundary means saying no to uncomfortable situation. So kapag hindi mo gusto yung nangyayari, you need to say no. That is an example of emotional boundary. So let's now proceed on music and arts. So I think 2 days yung iti-take yung inyong exam. Na dalawang exam ang ginawa ko. So una is physical education and health, and then music and arts. So for the music and arts, these are the things that you need to remember. Okay? For the folk music of the Philippines and Southeast Asia, okay, folk music reflects our, of course, tradition and daily life. So let's recall the types of the folk songs and examples. So let's have the indigenous songs first. Kapag sinabi nating indigenous songs, these are rituals or nature-related songs. Again, these are rituals or nature-related songs. Example natin is Ambahan, Iyaya, and Marayaw. And other one is work songs. Kapag sinabi nating work songs, help people move together while working. So, ang pinakasikat na work songs natin ay ang Magtanim ay di piro. And we also have the children chants. Ano ba yung mga children chants kasi? Sila yung mga songs na ginagamit natin for games. No? For example, si Nena ay bata pa, o kaya langit lupa. Okay? These are the children chants na kinakanta natin kapag tayo ay naglalaro or mga naglalarong mga bata. We also have the epic songs. Okay? Kapag sinabi namang epic songs, there's songs tell story of heroes. Okay? Mga tumutukoy sila sa mga bayani. Okay? Katulad na lang ng Darangin at saka Raja Idarapatra. Okay? And ang last one natin is love songs. So, favorite ng lahat, love songs. Okay, kapag sinabi nating love songs, of course, express emotions, no? Katulad na lang ng harana, balitaw, at kundiman. Again, these are the folk music of the Philippines and Southeast Asia. We have the indigenous songs that are rituals or nature-related songs. We have the work songs, which means help people move together while working. Children chants, those are songs for games. Epic songs are songs for heroes or stories of heroes. And love songs are songs that expresses emotion. Okay, so we have here the different song type. We have the Ambahan. So Ambahan, the description of Ambahan, this one is a poetic chant, okay, of Mangyan. And it is example song from Mindoro. Okay, next, song type is Ulit. Okay, Ulit is a healing chant. And it is from Palawan. We also have Darangin. Darangin is an example of epic chant. And it is from Maranao. And we also have Harana. Harana is a serenade by a man. Okay? And it is from Luzon. Next one, we have the Balitaw. This song debate between lovers. And it is from Visayas. Lastly, we have kundiman or kundiman. It is a sad love song. Okay? Minor to major key ang ginagamit, and this is a Tagalog from Tagalog region. So these are the song types that you need to memorize. Okay? And you need to also memorize kung saan din sila nanggaling. Yung mga lugar kung saan sila galing. So we also have the traditional instrument of Southeast Asia. So Southeast Asian music uses many unique instruments. So here are the main types. Now we have idiophones, chordophones, aerophones, membranophones, angklung, and kulintang. So kapag sinabi nating idiophones, these produce sounds by striking. Okay, mga metal gongs yung mga to or mga metal phones. Okay, idiophones again, ang example natin dito is gong and kulintang. Pag chordophones naman, produce sounds through vibrating string. So kung yung idiophones, para maka-create ng sound, kailangan strike mo siya, no? Or hampasin siya. Ito namang chordophones, you need to vibrate it, no? I-vibrate mo siya. So katulad na lang ng guitar, i-stream mo. Okay? And kudiyapi. And kapag sinabi naman nating aerophone, of course, kapag aerophones, no, magpuproduce siya ng sound by blowing air. So, katulad na lang ng flute at saka bamboo pipe. And we also have membranophones. Kapag sinabi nating membranophones, these produce sounds by vibrating skin or membrane. So, katulad na lang ng drum. Ayan. And aklung. Ano naman ang aklung? This is a bamboo instrument shaken to produce sound. And it is from Indonesia. And the other one, or the last one, is the kulintang. Kulintang is a set of small gongs that played melodically. And kulintang is under idiophones. And it is originated from Mindanao. Again, we have the different traditional instruments. Okay, kapag idiophones, striking, okay, to produce sound. Chordophones, strumming. Aerophones, blowing. Membranophones, same as the chordophones, no, strumming. And then, aklung, okay, shaking, okay, sinishake siya para makaproduce ng sounds. And kapag sinabi natin kulintang, these are sets of gongs. Okay, may maliit, malaki, medium size. Okay? We also have the features of Southeast Asian musics. Okay, this is are the common characteristic of a Southeast Asian music. So it includes the uses of gongs, bamboo, and percussion instrument. Okay, o yung mga tinatawag nating different instrument na madaling makita dito sa ating bansa. Okay? We also have the pentatonic scales, which is meron siyang 5 tones. And used in rituals and celebrations. And repetitive rhymes and patterns. Same lang yung tunog na lumalabas sa mga instrument na to. Okay, let's proceed on the arts of Southeast Asia. So in arts, the common themes are religion, daily life, nature, and traditions. So we have famous cultural sites and artworks include the Angkor Wat. Okay, Angkor Wat is from Cambodia. Borobudur Temple is from Indonesia. Batik is an Indonesian cloth with wax-resist dyeing. We also have ikat. It is a woven fabric with dyed threads before wavering. And we also have the songket. The songket is an example of Malayan or Malaysian fabric with gold or silver threads. Again, we have Angkor Wat. It is from Cambodia. Borobudur Temple is from Indonesia. Batik is from Indonesia also, and it is an example of a cloth. Ikat is a woven fabric. Okay? And songket is a Malayan fabric with gold and silver threads. So, for the study tips na kailangan ninyong gawin or before we end, here are some quick study tips that you need. Okay? You need to review the definition and the examples carefully. Okay? I sended you the Word document of this review. I hope you will go into review it. Okay? And lahat ng nandito or lahat ng lumabas sa ating review week ay kasama sa inyong exam. So, review definition and examples carefully. Understand the difference between offensive and defensive strategy. And memorize the local songs and instrument with their countries. And then you need to read about the common arts and culture in the Southeast Asia. And then you need to practice identifying the song types, no? Kung love song ba siya, epic song ba siya, or work song ba siya. Okay? So, that will be the end of the lesson. Okay? And again, I want you to use this reviewer for the quarter 2, Matha 7. Okay? Make sure to study well. Okay? Balance your screen time and take care of your physical and emotional health. Remember, learning is easier when you do it with focus and consistency. So good luck, grade 7 student, and God bless you on your exam. So the rest of the time, ay bibigyan kayo ng 10 minutes to review ng inyong ST na nagbabantay sa inyo. And then, if-flash niyo sa TV yung inyong quiz. Okay, magkakaroon kayo ng quiz today. This quiz is a preparation for you sa nalalapit na exam. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening. God bless.